Hello! And now we are in for a little bit of a treat on our ongoing series of the Summoner's Guide to Final Fantasy XIV. The creepiest instance in the entire game. Tam-Tara Deepcroft Hard Mode. Now there's a little, to really understand this dungeon, you gotta understand the story behind it, and there will be some spoilers involved. Basically, early on in the game, after you clear out Tam-Tara Deepcroft, you'll see a little cutscene involving an adventuring party that failed to clear out the Deepcroft. Their tank died, and their healer, Edda, was his fiancée, and she is taken to carrying his head around, and that's kind of weird, and everybody blames, the other two members of the party blamed her for everything going south and the death of Adair. But Edda decides to pick herself up and resume the adventurer's life, and basically after the third dungeon, after Copper Bell Mines, you get a little cutscene with her at one point where she says, you know, she's kind of inspired by your successes and she's going to go off and continue the adventuring life. And that's the last you hear of her. And that was apparently the last you were supposed to hear of her. But people started to ask the developers, you know, is there any more to this woman's story? And so the developers wrote a little more to this woman's story, and thus you have Tam-Tara Deepcroft Hard Mode. The story for this dungeon begins when one of the remaining members of the party, of this adventuring party, gets an invitation to Edda's wedding, being held at the Tam-Tara Deepcroft. He also finds out that Edda invited the other member of the party to the wedding, but we know that this particular party member was killed in a raid on the Waking Sands by the Garlean Empire. Her body is no longer in the grave. So something very wrong is going on here, and we're going to figure out what. Clearly Edda is involved in something nefarious. And there are torn folio pages throughout this dungeon that give you more insight into basically Edda's descent into madness and dark magics. And it's just really, really creepy. So for this encounter that I've been fighting right here, you may have noticed, but I will point out, you need to take out all the demons that are tethered to the usher first, and then you need to kill the usher to proceed. Yeah, those demon pawns are what you need to take out first. Neighbor's dog is being particularly noisy this evening, it seems. So you can hear, I mean, it's kind of appropriate to hear kind of unnatural wailing while this dungeon's going on, but not all the unnatural wailing you're hearing is necessarily from this dungeon. It may be the dog that sounds like it's incredible pain. It probably isn't. So more ads come out for this guy. I, of course, will bane them. And drop the Shadow Flare. The format of this dungeon is much like the original one. We're taking out these various orbs that are protecting these that sphere in the center, where the final boss is going to be. Except this time, it's going to be a little different. Alright, so this first boss. It is very important that you do not attack the ads. That is all. This is the party member that was a member of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn and was killed in the raid on the Waking Sands. She is now an undead thrall of Edda. Basically what's going to happen is the boss is going to use this rain of arrows that will affect everything in range. You want it to hit the ads, because basically whoever destroys the ads is going to get basically counterattacked by them. So you don't want to kill the ads unless you get counterattacked by them. You want them to get hit by the arrows. The arrows will take care of them. So yeah, really all you have to worry about on this is stacking up, getting it. That was the one thing I did forget to do at the beginning of this fight. You want to be stacked up close for him, and you just wail on the boss. Ignore the ads. Ignore the ads. And I already have one of those, so I'll pass on that. Alright, so this next section, we have to, each of these defiled coffins, when you attempt to open it, one of these Dantalian enemies will appear. What is happening with that dog? I don't know if you guys can hear if Mike's picking up the dog or not, but the dog doesn't bark, it squeals. Anyhow, whoever opens up the chest will get stunned. So typically you try to have somebody other than the tank open the chest. I'm not sure why they marked a 2 and not a 1, but whatever. Okay. Again, just deal with these guys as quick as possible. As long as somebody other than the tank opens the chest, the tank can pick up pain on them. The biggest problem with the tank opening the chest is that they're stunned and therefore can't pick up hate on the enemies right away, so what will very often happen is the enemies will attack somebody else, and the tank has problems getting hate back. Now that barrier back there is actually sealed up by the various chests that we've been opening. Only one more to go. Now I'm gonna wait, see if the tank manages to pull everything together, and then I'm gonna do that. That ought to do it. Phantom Knights go down pretty quick, so I'm just gonna let my dots take care of that, and I will take care of the Dantalion. And that should be enough to clear the passage to the second boss. Yep. Alright, the second boss is a little different. There's Peorazo. He is the surviving member of the party that was invited to the wedding and is now bound in the center of this arena for some sort of weird sacrifice. The boss, as such as it is this spare body. We're gonna, okay, so now what we need to do is pop these orbs. If Peoreo dies, it's a wipe. So we just don't let Peoreo die. We continue to focus down the spare body whenever we can, but we watch out for any of these orbs. And we pop it. Alright, they got that one. And it's good to keep an eye out on your health and how much damage you're taking from each orb, so that you know how much you can take. These bigger orbs, they hit harder. Again, gear is to the point now where one person could probably pick up a good many orbs, even as a caster, before having to worry about running out of HP. At this point, we shouldn't have anything to worry about. The spare body is going to die, and Teoro is safe. He is getting the heck out of here, and that's what he should be doing. I already have one of those. Alright, when you're done with all that, head into the ethereal flow. I really hope they let me watch the entire cutscene here, because it's kind of important to set the stage for this very creepy end boss. Okay, they want me to take out the eye first. I'll take out the eye first. Yeah, now the ads in this section are all, well, discarded eye, spare lung, and there was a spare body in the last boss fight. It's very clear there's some necromancy going on here. Fly-blown failure. As in, somebody tried to do something, or somebody attempted something and it failed and resulted in that abomination.
So, for this one, those little orange fireballs, if they get close to you, they're going to put up these big ol' AoEs that you need to worry about. Now, the biggest thing you got to worry about here is the enemy with the most health is the Pisca Demon, but you can't actually damage him until the demon pawns are gone, just like just like the ushers in the early part of the dungeon. Alright, now, as you continue this fight, you're still going to have to worry about these fireballs coming in, and more fly-blown failures are going to spawn. So don't worry about them over much, because they're just going to keep spawning until... I was slowed, so I couldn't get out of that. There we go. But take out the Pisca Demon first before you worry about the fly-blown failures. Because A, the fly-blown failures go down pretty quick, and B, they're just going to keep spawning until the Pisca Demon dies, so... Alright. Here we go. Say hello to Edda. And say hello to Aver. Welcome to the wedding! Alrighty. So, for this boss, we're not actually fighting yet. We're fighting Aver. And as one of our party members so eagerly pointed out, we have to kill the ads here. Now these ads you don't kill. They're untargetable. They'll fire some AoEs that you have to dodge. But these ads must die. Basically, every ad that reaches the center, a rune will be carved in the spell that Edda is casting. Every rune will make it more powerful. You might be able to survive with one or two. If she gets all five, you die. There it is, Red Wedding, and it hurts, even if you manage to get no runes like this particular casting. Obviously, you don't want to be standing in the puddle that she's standing in. So that's really all you need to know for this fight. Attack Aver whenever possible, but when the ads are there, attack the ads exclusively. Avoid all the AoEs that are thrown out by the gargoyles, or demons, or whatever they are.
And that's really all you need to know. Alright, I think we might be safe now. Yeah, I think that's all the ads, so now we'll push over here some more. Whoa! Oh, that creepy laugh! Like I said, this is the creepiest boss fight in the entire game, and this laugh is one of the biggest reasons. Alright, this should be about it. Yay! I remember the first time I played this dungeon. It was with my brother and one of his friends. We all played it together for the first time, and we were doing audio chat. And at this point, we're just like, oh, 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 oh. So, there you go. That's Tam-Tara Hard, the darkest dungeon in the entire game, in my opinion. There are a few other creepy moments in some later dungeons, but it don't get darker than that one. So, I hope you enjoyed yourselves. One more 4-player dungeon in the 2.3 series, and one trial. And until then, pleasant dreams.